Perfect. Let me bring up this. Next time, Amanda, I'm going to have you be a co-host and maybe Jeff as well. So when people start continue to come in as well, you guys can let them join in. So basically, yeah, what we're going to do, Jeff and myself today, the script that I have up here right now, this is going to be our main buyer script that we use really on any and all of our buyer leads that we get. You can use this script whenever it comes to just in general, you're out and about an open house, talking to somebody at the grocery store. It works no matter what, which is the beautiful thing about it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do it in segments. So we're not just going to hop into it and just kind of run through 1 through 7 and call it a day. We're going to focus just today on kind of just even the intro, going into the location and maybe the price if we have enough time. And the reason why you want to get those items right off the, really right from the very beginning of having conversations with people. So we're going to, Jeff, what I'm going to do is kind of explain leading into it, and then we can kind of role play a little bit. And then at the end, maybe the last 30 minutes or so, we'll kind of do a, I don't know, like a question type.
Yeah, we'll do a Q&A. We'll go over some one-liners and things like that. But while it's me and Mikey on here, make sure your mic is muted. If you're driving or anything, make sure your video is off.
David too on here. Yeah, awesome.
Doesn't start happening, and then kind of go from there. So I'm ready when you are, Mikey.
Perfect. So leading into this location, it's the easiest way possible to like greet the client, I guess you could say. So it could be a lead that you get off the internet from someone specifically reaching out on one of your listings, like they're reaching out about 123 Main Street, for example. So those are always easy, but it works with anything. So let's just say that they're inquired in about the 77027 zip code or wherever you might be at. You can always simply call them, and it's almost like it's like you're a customer service rep at the very beginning, because you don't ever want to turn someone off immediately like you're trying to sell them something, because that's the quickest way to get hung up on. So the easiest way to introduce yourself to anyone, you know, and I'll just do it myself. Hey, this is Michael, City Site Properties. You inquired in about this. You always say that. You inquired in about a specific thing, received your information, you inquired in on 123 Main Street, just wanting to check and see what all questions you have. And if you notice my tone, it's a very passive tone at this point. Like, hey, just wanting to check and see what all questions you have. And when you do that, they immediately kind of get a little more comfortable. It's like, okay, this guy's just like a customer service rep or whatever. That's kind of what they subconsciously think. And they're gonna, the main questions they ask, it's seriously, square footage, price of the property, maybe the schools or the lot size, like it's something very simple. And then you'll also get, hey, I just wanted to see this property, or I wanted to, you know, see whatever. Anything that they say, no matter if you have the property pulled up or not, you're going to immediately say, hey, no worries at all. Let me pull that up, that information up, and that way I can get it for you. So ask you about, even if they ask you about your, they want to see the property immediately, you might automatically think, well, I don't know if they're pre-approved. I don't know this. I don't know if they're working with an agent. No worries at all. Your response to that would be, hey, let me pull up my calendar and see what I have. What kind of times do you have available over the next, you know, week or so? Okay, you have the weekend. That's fantastic. And then what this does is an easy transition to lead into the location. So the location, we get the location information specifically because buyers don't know a whole lot. Like, I mean, whenever it comes to real estate, they might think, and I'm going to use Houston as an example, they might think that they're, they might think that there's an agent for Pearland, there's an agent for Katy, there's an agent for Spring. So all around Houston, they might think there's different agents for specific cities, whenever realistically, we can help any of them, you know, everywhere. So the main questions you ask here is just simply making sure that the area that they reached out about is the only area they're looking at, or if they're looking at other areas as well. And so this could be as simple as, and I'm going to transition from, like, let's say if someone asked the question, hey, what's the square footage of the house? I would simply say, oh, that's a great question. Let me pull that up. Hey, and seriously, not even a full second I wait. Let me pull that up. well, hey, while I pull that up, I noticed that it's in the Pearland area. Is that the specific area you're looking to purchase within? And they're going to say, yeah, it is. And maybe they'll give you some more information, but if they don't, you just say, okay, are you looking, in the South there in general, like Missouri City, maybe Friendswood as well, or are you just looking for Pearland? And that's how you're able to get the entire area they're looking for, because they will give you the information if it's just Pearland, if they are okay with any of those other areas. And of course, you're writing down notes, right? So leading into that, you then answer their question. So between location and price, you're then going to answer their question. So it's going to be like, well, hey, note this is in the Pearland area. That's the specific area you're looking to purchase within. They're going to say, yes, it is. Okay, fantastic. Are you just kind of looking in the South in general, maybe Friendswood, Missouri City as well, or are we really trying to focus on Pearland? Pearland's where I want to be at. Okay, that's awesome. Well, hey, I do have that pulled up now. The property is 2,500 square feet. Is that about what you're looking to purchase? Like, is that about the square footage you're looking in a house? And of course, it's just conversation, right? So they might be like, oh, that's a little bit too small, or maybe they say that's perfect or whatever. Here's the main thing that you have to remember. Let's say that it's completely off of what they want. So let's say that they're wanting a 3,500 square foot house, not a 2,500 square foot house. This can go for anything. It could go for price or whatever. You always have to immediately say, oh, no worries at all. There's tons of houses around there within that 3,500 square foot range. I'm going to be able to send them over to you. And you just keep the conversation going. So you never pause too long, because if you pause too long, especially if you just give them the information right off the bat, they're just going to hang up on you. Especially if it's not what they want. They're oh, okay, yeah, no, that's it, thanks, and they're just gonna hang up. So
a lot of people they'll be customer service reps. They'll call like, hey, Mikey, how much is this property? And then an unseasoned or unscripted agent will be like, yeah, man, it's $350,000. And then let's say they're only approved for 200. They're immediately trying to get off the phone. Oh, 350, that's too much, and then you're struggling. So instead of saying 250, just like Mikey was saying, well, yeah, let me pull that up for you. I see it's in Pearland. Is that the only area you're looking to buy in? And just kind of go straight into it, and then kind of go from there. So go ahead, Mikey.
Yeah, for sure. And so you answer that question right here in the middle between location and price, because you always want to remember the question they ask, because that means you're paying attention, right? So the square footage, no, they're looking for bigger square footage. And I said, oh, no worries at all. We definitely have some houses around there that match that square footage. This one is listed at 400,000. Is that about the price you're looking to purchase within? You see how I just went from location to price immediately. It didn't sound like I'm sitting there doing a questionnaire. All I'm doing is having a conversation with them. So that's simply what you do for the transition. You just don't pause a bit. And maybe that is the right square footage, right? Oh yeah, that is. Oh, awesome. Okay, good. So, and then you just go right into it. Well, hey, it's listed at 250,000. Is that about the price you're looking to pay for it? They're going to say multiple things, and we're going to go through some scripts here in just a second where what they could say, but they could say, yes, that's exactly what it is. They could say, I'm looking, anywhere from 250 to 350. They might say that's too high, too expensive. If it's ever too expensive, again, remember, you immediately say, hey, no worries at all. There's a ton of properties around there that we can get within your price point. You looking maybe around, 200, 225. They're going to say, yeah, that is. Oh, no worries. I'm going to send those over to you. And it's about giving them some kind of, value. You're giving them a value so they know that, hey, he's going to be able to provide me with what I'm wanting in this price point. And so that's kind of, and I'm going to stop here, just these two, because we're about to go into some scripts, just going through those three things: the intro on how to properly tell someone, hey, I'm in real estate, leading into the script, which is the location, and of course moving past to the price. So yeah, Jeff, you ready for this?
I'm ready, man.
Okay, cool. Let me admit some more people here. So I'm going to be the agent, Jeff. You be the buyer. We'll go over a couple of different scenarios. So I'm just going to do the intro to the end of the price, and you just give me a couple of examples here. And then
we'll go. I'll give you the easy route, and we'll go through location and price. As soon as we wrap that up, just repeat it. I'll give you some hesitations on location and price, and then we should be good. And then just a reminder to mute your mic if you're not involved in the script.
Let me see. Okay, got him. All right.
Okay, cool.
Jeff, I'm going to act like this is a random HAR lead. Let's just say that it's a lead. You reached out about a property, maybe one of my listings or one of somebody's listings. So ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Jeff, Michael Bass here, City Site Properties. How are you, sir?
Oh, good. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Thanks for asking. Hey, the reason I'm calling you, I'd actually inquired in about my property there at 123 Main Street. Just wanting to check and see what all questions you had.
Oh, yeah, man. I wanted to see how much that property was.
Absolutely. Let me pull that up for you. And hey, while I pull that up, I do notice that's in the Midtown area. Is that kind of the area you're looking to stay within?
Yeah, I want to stay in Midtown for sure.
Perfect, perfect. Are you looking, kind of just all inside the loop, maybe even in like, say, Cottage Grove and the Heights area as well? Or are you trying to stick with like Midtown Montrose area?
Yeah, I work downtown, so I kind of want to be close. So I got a couple buddies that live in Midtown, so I kind of want to just stay in there and be close to downtown.
Yeah, it's a good spot for sure, man. Lots to do. What do you do? What do you do downtown?
Oh, I own a real estate company.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, congratulations on that. I'm going to skip past that because conversation will change. So that's awesome.
Sorry, I'm a used car salesman.
There we go. Okay. Well, no worries, man. That's awesome. So I do have this pulled up. It is listed at $400,000. Is that about the price you're looking to spend?
Yeah, I think I could do that.
Great, man. And if you don't mind me asking, how did you come up with that number, that 400,000?
Well, I just played around with some, mortgage calculators online.
Oh, those are fantastic tools. And then I'm going to stop there. The mortgage calculator, you're going to get that more than once. And then what you do is you tie that back in to the mortgage. So you do not talk about the mortgage here unless they say that they are already pre-approved. Then you ask them who they're pre-approved through. But you do not talk about mortgage up here. The reason is because we tear down their walls a little bit, make them a little more comfortable, and then this is the hardest thing to talk about. That's the beauty of this, because if you do it properly, and if you notice he works downtown, oh, what do you do? That's awesome. You try to mesh with people, because the bottom line is all we're trying to do is sell ourselves for them to use us. We're not trying to sell a property or do that. You have to mesh with that other person for them to use you. That's the bottom line. So, all right, Jeff.
Yeah.
Scenario number 2. Okay. We'll say this is a KV core lead. Doesn't have any info other than looking in 77027 zip code. Let's just say that. That's all it has. They're interested in buying there. So, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Jeff, Michael Bass here, City Site Properties. How are you?
Good. Who's this?
Yeah, man, this is Michael in real estate. I actually got your inquiry I got your inquiry about properties in the 77027 zip code. Just wanted to check and see what all questions you had.
Oh, yeah. How'd you get my info again?
Yeah, man. So basically what happened is you went on my website. You actually had started looking at some properties there in the 77027. You were interested, and that's how I got your information. So I was just reaching out to see how I could help.
Yeah, man. I was just looking at some properties there. We're thinking about buying a house. That's
awesome. It's a definitely a good area too. Well, tell me a little bit. I mean, did you have any questions about that specific area?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too familiar with Houston. I work downtown, and I wanted to see if that was a good area. I'm not real familiar with it.
For sure. Where are you from, or where are you coming from?
We're coming from California. We got to get out of there.
No worries, man. We'll welcome you down. We'll welcome you over here, of course. We have to get used to the heat, but it is what it is. Well, no, we can definitely help you with that area. You work in a downtown that's very close for sure. So have you visited Houston yet, or are you still in California right now?
No, I've been here. I've been to Houston a few times, but not too familiar with it at all.
Gotcha. Well, there's actually quite a few areas around, even outside of that 77027 area, that you probably will like. So we'll just keep that in mind, because I know we're going to be able to find you something. But let me ask you this: as far as the pricing on it, there wasn't actually a price associated with this one specifically. So I just wanted to check and see what kind of price are you comfortable with right now for us searching.
Yeah, so I maybe about 200,000 or so.
Perfect, and that's not going to be a problem at all. We can definitely find you something with that 200,000 price point. And if you don't mind me asking, how'd you come up with that price?
Well, we live in about a $200,000 house here in California. So, you know, hopefully we'll sell it and we'll be able to afford the same down there.
Absolutely. Are you guys currently on the market right now in California?
Not yet.
Okay, no worries. Well, the beautiful thing is I can actually help you with that. I know a couple of top producing agents over there in California that would be able to help you out. And then I'm going to skip past that because I'm going to stop there because technically we're stopping, but we would actually get into that as well. The next thing is the motivation. We already know the motivation as far as what Jeff just said, just simply because he's moving here from California for a job. But we would go into a little more detailed on that. So, we got 220. Jeff, you got another scenario you want to run through?
No, let's talk about, we're doing location and price right now. If you want, Michael, for the people that are newer to the script practice and everything, I know the benefits of going through it section by section and then doing it all by one. But if me and you want to just run through it, let's call it a perfect scenario.
Sure.
From location all the way to closing.
Yep.
I think we do that, and then that should take us, 5 minutes, and then we'll open it up for some questions or some buyer hesitations that people have come across this week, or maybe, really even seller. I know we're talking about buyers, but if you have any seller objections that you've come up and hung up this week, and we can answer a few of those, and then we should be wrapped up by 2:45. So if you want, let's just run through that fully once. I'll make it real easy on you, and then just to kind of get what is funny.
Amanda smiled because you said it was going to be easy. We're going to do objections.
No, I'm just going to make it easy. I want someone to catch the flow of the script. So I won't put you through anything that it's not. It's just going to be an easy one, just so we can get the flow.
For sure. Yeah. Whenever we start doing objections, you have to talk sometimes you have to over talk almost to try to beat the objection. And so, yeah, that's what we're not going to do. But just so you guys know, tomorrow we'll go over all the motivation. We'll go over agent. We'll put 1 through 4 together, and then we'll try to get to mortgage. But mortgage, we might spend the whole time on next week. So just know we are going to go through these other ones one by one. But what kind of lead do you want to be, Jeff? Like, where did I get you?
I've recently won the lottery, and I want to buy a house in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just putting that out there, just getting it in the universe.
Hey, come to me. I like it. All right, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Jeff, Michael Bass here, Cityside Properties. How are you, sir?
Oh, good. How are you?
Oh, doing fantastic. Hey, you reached out about this property here at 123 Main Street. Just wanted to check and see what all questions you had about it.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to see how much that property was.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let me pull that up really quick. And hey, while I pull that up, I noticed that it's in that River Oaks area there in Houston. That's a specific area you're looking to purchase within?
Yeah, I only want to be in River Oaks.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a nice area. Lots of good food and stuff around as well. Great schools. So, hey, I pulled this up. This one's actually listed for $2.1 million. Is that about the price you're looking to purchase within?
Yeah, that should be easy.
Perfect. Perfect. And if you don't mind me asking, how'd you come up with that figure, like the price point?
Oh, yeah, man. We won the California lottery not too long ago.
That is fantastic. No,
yeah.
Hey, good for you guys. That's awesome. Congratulations. Well, hey, I guess I know you're moving down here from California probably to try to get away from some taxes or something. I'm not sure, but are you getting a job down here as well, or are you guys getting transferred?
No, man, we're just going to live off our winnings.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, perfect. Your house currently in California, do you guys rent or y'all
own? We're renting. We're month to month.
Month to month. So really, you're just trying to look as soon as possible to get down here?
Yeah, as soon as I find it, I'd like to pull the trigger and get out of California.
Perfect. Well, just to let you know kind of how everything's going on right now. So I can do it multiple ways. I can go over to the house and kind of FaceTime you or do a Zoom meeting or something like that and kind of walk through the property so you can kind of see it, virtually like that. And then if you like what you see, we can always get an offer going. You guys can schedule a flight down here, of course, to take a look at it after we're in contract. That's kind of just how that would work. But I assume you reached out to me directly because you're not working with an agent currently. Is that correct?
No, I've talked to quite a few agents, but I'm not working with anybody specifically. No.
Perfect. Yeah. And, tell me a little bit about, I know you said you spoke to many agents. Is it just kind of reaching out specifically from house to house?
Yeah, I'm just calling the listing agents.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you kind of know the difference between the listing agent and like a specific buyer's agent that would be representing you?
No, I figure I go to listing agent, save some commission.
For sure, for sure. Definitely understand that that thought process as well. So I guess let me tell you this. So in Texas, how it works, the listing agent's actually already, the listing broker actually has already agreed with the seller to sell it and get a certain amount of commission. The listing agent actually doesn't have a whole lot of control over that because the broker themselves are the ones who actually authorize the, say, 6% or whatever. So if you go through that listing agent, it really doesn't matter, you know, if you go through them or if you use your own agent, that broker is going to get the same amount of commission. The only difference is whenever you go through that listing agent, they don't have your best interest in mind because they've already signed a contract with that listing agent. So what I would do is I would actually work for you, share all of those defects with the house, the comparables in the area, and just really make sure that you get the best deal, you know, and bang for your buck.
Oh.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, and I don't have to pay the commission, do I?
No, it's completely free to you. Yeah, so you're not paying the commission at all. And trust me, I'm definitely going to be able to save you that 3% that you're trying to save anyway. I'm going to be able to save you that with my negotiation skills.
Oh, that sounds great.
Awesome, man. And I know you said that you won the lottery, which is awesome. So I assume this is going to be a cash sale.
Yes, all cash.
That's awesome. Okay, yeah, just be prepared for this, and probably the same in California as well. But we will need some kind of proof of funds just to show that you have the money whenever we do submit the offers. So just kind of keep that in mind, have that ready. And then this specific house, I mean, it's about 7,000 square feet, 6 beds, 7 baths. It has a awesome pool. It's a 6-car garage. What else do you think you would need in order to, you know, to make a move on a house?
Yeah, the biggest thing is the pool, and then obviously we want to be in River Oaks. Definitely need a pool, at least 6,000 square feet. That's really about it.
Perfect. And the great thing here is I've already actually taken a look here. We got about 10 to 12 properties that kind of fit that criteria that I'm going to send you over. So my goal here is I'm going to send you these properties over, and that way I can actually go and show you your favorite 3 to 5. Again, we can do it virtually, or if you like them enough, you can just make a trip down here and we'll get them scheduled. So I'm going to
I'd like to see a few, and then we can set something up.
Perfect. So I'm going to send you these right when we get off the phone, and then I'll just check back with you. Shoot, it's 9 a.m. now. I'll just check back with you maybe around noon or 1 to see what you think. How's that sound?
That sounds great. I really appreciate it.
Awesome, Jeff. Thanks so much. Have a good day. Look forward to helping you.
Thank you.
All right.
Mikey, the only thing is great. Make sure we assume the business on the close. Just assume it. Say something like, look forward to earning your business. Maybe you did that. Maybe you didn't. Can't wait to work with you. Something like that. And then
Definitely.
That's it.
And guys, that's the good thing. Even if Jeff and I are doing the main script practicing, we're going to get everyone involved. Once we go over the entire thing, everybody's going to we'll just randomly pick on people. No one's perfect, which is great because the criticism and the critiques that you get, you just have to kind of remember that, write them down, because that's really
fun. The biggest thing, most people don't, they assume that the conversation went well, so they assume that the person's going to work with them, but they never asked for the sale. They never assumed to the seller or to the buyer that they're going to work with them. I'm sorry, they may have assumed, but they never asked for it. So it's little questions, like not questions, just statements. Well, man, I really appreciate it. Can't wait to meet you. I really look forward to working with you. And they say yes, or I can't wait to earn your business. And they'll say, okay, great. It's something like that, assuming that you're already got the business, and just let them know you can't wait to work with them. So.
Yeah, that's good info. I typically do that with the agent part of it, but whenever you said that you've been talking to a few agents, that's whenever I had to kind of shift gears a little bit. But you're absolutely right. I need to do it multiple times in there, so subconsciously they automatically assume that they are going, that you're their agent. So for sure. Well,
yeah, good.
We're going to open it up now. So anybody have any questions, issues that they've had with talking to a buyer or seller? Maybe you didn't know how to get around some objection they gave you, anything like that?
Hey, Michael, just a question. This is Hui.
Hey, what's up, Hui?
Hey, so at what point, after that script, at what point do you actually push for the buyer representation agreement? Is it on the next meeting?
That's a good question. Good question, Hui. And so I will tell you that you can ask many agents, and everybody's going to give you a different answer on this. So I'll give you my answer, and then I'll let Jeff see what Jeff thinks. So me personally, I'm never going to sign a contract with someone I've never met, no matter what. I'm never going to. If you try to push somebody to sign a buyer's rep, you're not going to have great luck. So I typically wait until I at least meet them the first time. And hopefully what I always try to do is show them at least 3 to 5 properties. Because if you show them one property, maybe they hate that property and you're in and out in 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. You didn't even build any rapport. But if you show them 3 to 5, at least you're able to build rapport as you're touring them around. And then at the end of that meeting, you kind of start talking about the representation agreement. And then that is how you plug that in.
Yeah, in order to show them multiple properties, Mikey, it's a simple question. I'm sure you remember, but basically if they say, yeah, I just want to see that one house that I inquired about, your immediate response without hesitation, it needs to be, well, that sounds great. This is definitely a nice house. But if there was a nicer house for a better price in that same subdivision, wouldn't you want to see it? And if they say no to that, they're not serious. If they, because who would say no to that? If there's a nicer house for a better price in the same area, wouldn't you want to see it? And they say, well, no, not really. Then they're full of crap. So
yeah, that's a red flag. Like the main thing with this script that you listen for the red flags, because that's a red flag. Because anyone in their right mind would want to see a nicer house at a better price. Why would they say no to that? Like that doesn't make any sense. And really, and we'll learn this more, if that happens, you just ask more questions to them, because that doesn't make any sense. And it might actually be telling them, well, that doesn't really make any sense. Like I can get you a nicer house, for less. I don't understand why you wouldn't.
Yeah, they usually have an ulterior motive. Maybe they're a nosy neighbor, something like that. So yeah, and then obviously schedule the 2 or 3. But yeah, with the buyer's representation, I kind of agree with you, Mikey. You need to build some type of rapport before asking for that. But you need to present it in a way that you are getting paid 100% in commission from the seller. They're not going to pay that. They need to know that. And in order to get that commission, you're going to invest your time, your money, your knowledge, all your expertise you've earned the last 10 years of business in order to properly represent them. And in order to protect their investment, I need my clients to also invest their time into me. And the only way to do that is for you to sign this buyer tenant rep agreement. It just ensures that I get paid from the seller. And if you're uncomfortable with signing that, what that tells me is I may be, potentially wasting my time or my investment. I'm just not willing to do that, with my, my career, or I'm just not willing to do that. So, but yeah, I would meet them first, mesh well with them. Because here's one thing you'll learn. Sometimes you don't like the client either. Sometimes they show up 30 minutes late and they bring 16 people with them to see one house and they're there for 3 minutes. I don't want that person signing buyer's rep. I don't want to ever see that guy again. Right? So definitely meet him. And then yes, use things of value to pressure. Let's use the word pressure them to sign it. So for example, what's wrong with that property? Can you shoot the seller's disclosure? And then at this point, you've already mentioned like, yes, I'll send you that. And then I'll shoot you this buyer's rep. Once we sign it, I can actually share some, that confidential information with you because you'll be my client. And then like, oh, okay, yeah, let me sign that real quick. So use stuff of value they want to get them to sign that. But and there's some types of people that you may mesh well with them and they just may not feel comfortable signing a 5-page buyer agreement. It's just a conversation you need to have with them. That's okay if you're not willing to sign that, but I really need to hear from you that you're going to, give me the best opportunity. Now, obviously, if I fail your expectations, then sure. But if I'm doing everything I can to earn your business, I just want to be rewarded with, my commission from the seller. So when we write our initial offer, I'll just make that a part of the package. And some people say, well, yeah, that sounds better. Stuff like that.
Quick question, Jeff. What do you do when the client, I find this with investor clients, they don't want to sign the buyer's rep agreement because, they might want to work with somebody else on a different property or whatnot. Do you put any disclaimer in there, give them the ability to cancel it?
Yeah, for sure. So an investor, if I show you the property, I want to get paid. So let's just put some verbiage in there and let's think about it. Like you're the client, you're the investor shotgun and say, hey, I just need to protect my time and your time as well. So I just want to put something in there. If I show you the property, you're not going to go around me to, try to save that commission with the listing agent. So I'm just going to put that in special provisions. You'll see it right there. And it kind of protects us both. Does that sound good? And they'll say yes. If they say, no, I don't want to do that. Like, yeah, you know, I have to meet your expectations just like you have to meet mine. It just won't work for me. So, I mean, best of luck to you, basically, for me.
Shocking. Yeah. Molly actually just had this with her investor. That's why she's smiling.
Yeah, I was about to jump in. I actually, the client that I have is my friend, but he flips houses. He buys one at a time, moves in, completely redoes them, does them, and sells them. So I just got my license at the end of May, and he was working with a different agent, and he wasn't really happy with what's going on. And he asked me to pull a CMA on a different property. Amanda and I confirmed he didn't have a buyer's agreement, and he was really wary at first of going with me. And so I talked to Amanda, and we had him do it by the property. So he's actually under contract. We're hopefully, if the appraisal comes back, closing on Friday.
Well, hey, congratulations.
There's a win there. So again, tell him I'm not trying to strong arm you into using a bad agent. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to protect my commission if I show you a property. And I'm also trying to, you know, do the proper representation. To be honest, I really can't share sales disclosures and things with just random buyers and all across the market. So in order for you to become my client, we're going to have to eventually sign that buyer's rep. And if you want to put some provisions in there to make you feel more comfortable, I'm open to doing that. But again, I'm not trying to strong arm you to make sure I get paid. If I fail your expectations or someone else finds you a property, and this is with investors, by the way, not traditional buyers. If someone else finds you a deal that makes sense and then I just didn't find it, then go for it. I'm not going to come back after you and try to get that commission. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to protect my time and ensure I get paid if I send you a property.
Well, I have two tricks. One is for investors. What we do in the market area, instead of Harris and surrounding counties, we'll put that address. But if it's a traditional buyer, they're not shopping around with multiple realtors usually. I'll put a little special provisions clause in there that just says, if fill in the blank client uses Amanda Whitespear or any member of Cityside Properties as representation, they shall not under any circumstances be liable for any broker commission. And so they feel comfortable of, if I use her and something were to happen, I'm not responsible to pay anything no matter what. And then that also prevents them from cheating on you. The contract already says that just about, but this is like another way to just reinstate that, make them feel comfortable, but also have them commit to you.
That's good. That's good. I think a lot of times what happens is agents give the buyer's rep a bad name because they don't want to let the guy off the hook. You know, they want to continue to charge. We may decide we don't want to work with the guy. And I know we have put in there that, you know, that the agreement can be canceled at any time in writing. You know, if they feel uncomfortable, because if they don't want to work with me, I don't want to work with them. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. Chances are, if you're not feeling them, they're definitely not feeling you, or vice versa. So
exactly.
Don't to answer your question, we don't strong arm it, but that's definitely part of the process. And they're eventually going to have to sign that buyer's rep.
And here's the thing too, don't be afraid to ask more questions. Like, that's the number one thing that you're going to see whenever we get into just the full script and objections and all that stuff. Whenever someone says something that just kind of doesn't make any sense, you don't just go with it. I mean, you ask them more questions about that. You even tell them, hey, tell me a little bit more about that. Why do you feel that way? And that way, you know, like everything that's going on in their mind, their thought process, because at the end of the day, I'm not about to go and drive to the Woodlands and take, 50 minutes to drive to the Woodlands to show them this property unless I'm absolutely certain that I have the opportunity to earn their business. I'm probably not going to earn somebody's sole business just by having a phone conversation with them. But if you're comfortable with that conversation, then that makes that drive better. It makes it feel better, So just know that. Don't be afraid to ask more questions.
Something else that really helps is on the finance part, instead of saying, hey, are you getting a loan? Are you pre-approved or do you have cash? I like to ask them, are you going to be paying? You just assume that they have cash. So there's not that awkward moment of, oh, I need to get my finances in order. I'll say, are you paying cash or do you want to leverage a mortgage because interest rates are so low? And then they feel like they're smart consumers because they're leveraging a mortgage. And then when they say, hey, I'm getting a loan, you can go, awesome. My mortgage lender is amazing. He's actually provenly been able to save people interest rates and lots of money on their mortgage, and over the course of 30 years that's thousands and thousands of dollars. Would you be open to talking to him if he can save you a lot of money? And then whenever they say yes, I have a deal with my mortgage lender that if I'm going to send clients to you, you have to automatically edify me and say that I'm awesome. And so let's say, Hui, you send someone to your lender should be scripted to go, Yes, I would love to help you. But before we get started, let me just tell you, Hui is an amazing realtor. I've been in this business a long time, and Hui is one of the best people. How in the world did you get to work with him? And so before they even get back on that second call with you, they're pre-approved and they think that you're a rock star.
Yeah, we were going to talk about that and when we talk about the mortgage, but that's something that everybody needs to have a conversation with their lender. And if you don't have a lender yet, find one and let them know. I'm going to edify the heck out of you when I ensure that they call you. So the second they call you, it's a simple script. Yeah, first, let me tell you, congratulations on working with Michael Bass. He's a phenomenal agent. Been using him, working with him for 8 years. So congrats on that. And then go into the process. If they do that, the second phone call after they call you back after speaking with the lender is going to go much, much better. So.
And the good thing is too, guys, we're going to teach you how to get them to use your preferred lender every time. I seriously do not have one client that does not at least talk to my preferred lender now. Like not one. It doesn't happen throughout the year. They'll at least talk to my preferred lender, at least have the opportunity. So we're going to teach you how to do that. It's very easy, but we're going to cover that next. So
yeah, let's do one more quick question and we'll jump off here. And then I think we're doing the same time tomorrow. I think we're going to talk about buyers again. But what we'll try to do is probably mostly buyers. And then every other week we'll talk about seller objections and things like that. And then, yes, we're going to go through this script here, but I'm also going to incorporate some of the Sean Kokoska one-liners, all the objections that he has. So make sure that you guys have access to Basecamp. If you don't have access to Basecamp, get on Basecamp, review this script, review Sean Kokoska's objections for buyers and sellers so you can be somewhat familiar with that. So any other one last question here?
Yeah, Justin here. So I had a question. So how do you get around? So when you're working with somebody that wants to buy new construction, and you have these big neighborhoods, like, these big builders like D.R. Horton, KB Homes, whatever, they say, well, if you don't work with a realtor, you'll get a better discount. What's the way around that? And if I'm a potential buyer, why would I want to use a realtor? Because I'm thinking in my head, hey, I will get a better discount because they don't have to pay this realtor that fee or commission.
Jeff, you mind if I go on this?
Yeah, go in. I'll follow up.
Hey, Justin, so this is going to be you're pretty much in your initial conversation with that client to make sure that they understand that the sales rep that works for any new builders is solely looking out for the best interest of the builder and not you. And so they understand that they, first of all, shouldn't really ever go to a new construction community without you. So they should always call you first. You schedule that. That's automatically something that you talk to them about. And then if they happen to do that, they immediately go into those offices and they say that they have an agent and they put your information down. And then just to make sure too, you make sure that they always tell you which communities they're going to, so you can call those sales rep, you let them know your client's coming, and that way that will never happen. Most seasoned agents, that has happened to at least once, where they've basically had a new construction undercut them. And so it's happened to me whenever I was new as well. It never happens anymore whenever you follow those little things that you can do, and your client they trust you. So it's not one of those things where they randomly walk into, somewhere on the weekend and then they didn't use you. If that happened, you actually didn't have the conversation with them about it. And so they didn't know.
So they need to know that those people are on salary, they're on hourly, they're unlicensed, they work directly for the builder. The only job that they want to do is get you under contract. Whereas me, as your representative, if the house is not a good fit for you, the neighborhood is crappy, the schools are crappy, I'm going to let you know that. Whereas the builder's rep in there, one, being unlicensed, and they have incentives to sell their inventory, they're going to use anything that you say. Let's say you walk in there, you're so happy to see the phantom floor plan. They're going to see that excitement, and they're going to use all that stuff that you're saying as ammunition against you to get you under a better price for the builder or something like that. Whereas, as a proper representation on the buy side, I'm in no rush to purchase unless your time frame is dependent on that. So just educate the buyer and let them know those people are going to get paid whether you buy a house or not. They're incentivized by the builder to push on old inventory, for one. and they're not licensed. So you're not gonna get proper representation. There always needs to be proper representation. Let's say you're suing somebody. You're gonna go in there and just, without an attorney and just focus on whatever the guy who's suing you is saying? No, you're gonna bring proper representation. So it's the same type of thing. Just let them know they're not licensed. They're on an hourly or salary wage, whether you close on it or not. And at the end of the day, they want the builder to get the best price with the best everything.
In Basecamp, we have a really great buyer's guide. If you guys want to copy it and add your logo to it, it goes over every kind of sale you can think of, and it includes new construction because a lot of people forget about putting their realtor down. But a lot of buyers also don't even think about, all they think about is the house and the price. But you need to remind them, we're going to go through inspections, and that's going to get messy. You need someone on your side. We're going to go through appraisals, and right now people are having appraisal issues. Final walkthrough, like all these things that you need someone to fight against the builder for. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, it's not all price. It's an appraisal. It's a survey. There could be a freaking power line. You can never put a pool up, but they're going to cover that piece up. Just make sure you buy that old distressed inventory home, something like that. So, but yeah, that's good. Good question, man. But yeah, what Mikey said, you got a client, they're willing to sign your buyer's rep. They're interested in D.R. Horton and things like that. Let's look at some of the areas that they're interested in, call those sales rep and go ahead and register those clients as yours. That way, if they are, doing nothing on a Saturday and just swing by there, they're going to pull you up and it's going to be in the system. So
there's also really fun. I don't know if you've seen the little open house cards, but you can say, hey, we belong to Michael Bass and we're out doing open house shopping, and they can show their little card or give their little cards away to the agents at the open houses or the agents at the model homes. And then those people know to reach out to their agent should they have any questions or need anything. It's kind of like a, hey, I'm taken card. It's really cute.
Perfect. Kathy, I know you had a question too. I think you're about to say something. Do you want to ask that really quick?
Yeah, just quickly, what if on that initial conversation, the buyer is from out of town, for example, and has really unrealistic expectations about like the match of price point and location? How do you handle that?
Very easy, Kathy. Very easy. You just be very direct with them in a nice way. So, and I'll give you an example. So they're wanting to buy in River Oaks for $300,000 and they want a 5,000 square foot property. Okay. Well, you're Kathy, are you from Houston?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember. So that's not happening, right? That's not happening at all. And you seriously have the conversation. Hey, I appreciate that you want this. I'm just letting you know that doesn't exist and that will never exist. So if you want to be in the River Oaks, we got to be like above 1.5 million or something like that. And you have that direct conversation with them. And then you then say, no worries, we can find you something, similar house. It's just going to be a little further out. Like, what is the most important thing to you in a house? And you get that information and then you redirect them, because the worst thing that you can do is work with an unrealistic buyer, especially if you're not direct with them, because at that point, they're just going to constantly be sending you a $300,000 house and expect to get it for $225,000, which we know will never happen. So whenever whenever they have unrealistic expectations, smash that immediately. Just be very direct. You're still very nice and friendly to them, so it's not coming off rude or condescending, but you just have to let them know that just doesn't happen. Like
I kind of use an icebreaker. It's a joke just because I try to be funny. I tell them, I did find that property in River Oaks for $300,000. It actually sold in 1960. And they are going to laugh, right? And then you can follow that up with immediately like, sorry, it's just at 300,000 River Oaks, that just doesn't happen. But what specifically attracted you to River Oaks? Because I guarantee you I can find you something that is very similar, maybe a little bit further drive that will fit that price range for you. That's what I do.
Always give them additional options, Kathy. Like, always tell them that there is something out there. Be positive about that, but you have to be very direct and so they know that that's just completely not going to happen.
Got it. Thank you, guys.
All right. Well, hey, not bad. We're only 3 minutes behind. So real quick, jump in Basecamp. Make sure you guys are on Basecamp. Jump and look at these. Tomorrow, same time, 2 o'clock. Use the same link. We're going to put this recording on our YouTube channel, and then also we'll share it probably on Basecamp as well. But other than that, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Mikey, you got anything?
No, that's it. See you guys tomorrow too.
All right.
Thank you,
see y'all.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.